G'day YouTube, Buoywalls on a lot here. As you can see, we have firefighting equipment on site as well as exhausted drip torch fuel bottles. This was originally burn area number 6, but there was lots of green inclusions and other stuff that didn't burn and didn't want to burn. And so, with the humidity at 30%, and the temperature down around 10 degrees, I'm doing a burn. And today is the 10th of August and the fire danger season commenced on the 1st of August. So therefore, the actual most important piece of equipment in order to conduct this burn is this one, the fire permit. Permit to light, use or maintain a fire under section 89 of the Rural Fires Act of 1987. Permission is granted to me of Yarraford Road, Dundee, Ranges Valley, telephone number, to light, maintain and use a fire at Waylard, Currajong, Budreldoon for the purpose of grass and rubbish burn. Okay, that's what it is. That is a grass and rubbish burn. Hazard reduction certificate number, if applicable, HR blank. Permit shall be effective from 8th of the 8th 14 at 9 AM to the 27th of the 8th 14 at 9 AM. NB specified period not to exceed 21 days. This permit is granted subject to the provision of the Rural Fires Act 1997, see, and to the following special conditions. 1. At least one person must be present at the site of the fire from the time it is lit until such time as it is extinguished. 2. This permit must be carried by the permit holder. This is why I have it here on me. At the time the fire authorised is lit, the permit is to remain on site with those present throughout the duration of the fire until extinguished, section 8992, close bracket. 3. Under section 130 of the Act, regulation 33, the person to whom this permit is issued must give written or oral notice at least 24 hours, bracket, unless specified otherwise, before the fire is lit to all adjoining occupiers or owners of land, including land that is separated by a lane, road or waterway. Yes, I did that. Rang up 2 of them, went and visited another. Such notice must specify the name of the person proposing to light the fire, the location, the purpose, the period of time of the fire proposed to be lit. 4. The permit holder must contact the burn notification line on 1300 141 119 at least 24 hours before lighting the fire, providing details of the person proposing to light the fire, the location, purpose, period and time of the fire proposed to be lit. There you are. Get a good look at that number. You've got to ring them up. Even if you've got a permit, you still have to tell them. That's because somebody other than my neighbours may see the smoke, and somebody other than my neighbours may ring up fire control and say, ooh, is there supposed to be a fire there, a lack and alarm? And fire control will say, yes, there is a bloke who lives more or less up there who has got a permit and it is the right time of the day. Okay, that's why you've got to get your permit first, then you've got to ring the burn notification line, and then you've got to wait 24 hours so that they can process the paperwork. Part 5. The permit may be suspended, varied or cancelled verbally or in writing by any member of the New South Wales Rural Fire Service who is authorised to issue a permit. So that's not just the person who issued the permit, it's anyone who's authorised to issue a permit. So any permit officer from any brigade can say no. This permit is suspended in the event of a total prohibition on the lighting of fires, bracket total fire ban under section 90 and 99 of this Act, or on days where the fire danger rating is very high or above. 7. If the Department of Environment, Climate Change and Water, bracket EPA, declares a, quote, no burn day, this permit is suspended, no new fire may be lit, and any fire lit prior to the declaration of the burn, where are we? Any fire lit prior to the declaration of the no burn day must not be actively maintained except where the fire control officer has permitted the fire to be lit for the purposes of a bushfire hazard reduction, pursuant to a bushfire risk management plan. Well, I haven't actually got a bushfire risk management plan on file at the local fire control office, so that doesn't apply. Right? This is just a private initiative. A fire may only be lit on land if consistent with any bushfire risk management plan applying to the land. Okay, well, like I said, I'm making this as a private initiative. I think this needs to be burned. It is a therapeutic burn. The fact that it is also a tactical and strategic burn to stop my hut and my clearing from being burnt in the event of an ember attack on a hot day with a strong wind, that's beside the point. If this permit is issued in relation to a fire which will be used for bushfire hazard reduction purposes, you must comply with all of the conditions set out in the bushfire hazard reduction certificate or other approval required to undertake the activity. Gee, it's a good thing that this is for the purpose of grass and rubbish burn, rather than an official hazard reduction burn, because an official hazard reduction burn apparently requires vastly more paperwork than this one little bit. Prior to lighting the fire, an adequate fire break must be provided. There must be a fire break free of inflammable materials at least that many metres. See, it specifies how many metres. And no windrow left within, shows how many metres to the windrow of the fire break. Any conditions? Conditions are dry but very mild. Should not be any problems. So perhaps therein you can see the flexibility of the system. You can see the difference between what the bureaucrats who wrote the piece of paper, designed the piece of paper, had in mind that anybody who was doing a hazard reduction burn should have to have all kinds of other certificates and, you know, God knows what. Me, I'm burning off a road, a track. I go right down to mineral earth. Look, see, there's rocks and stones in among the sticks on the track. And I'm burning inside a previously blacked out area. This was burn number 6. And I'm getting rid of the unburnt enclosures. So, I rang up my permit officer, and my permit officer listened to my story and said, yep, no drama, come over and collect your permit. I went and collected the permit, and it was already written out. All we had to do was write the name of my property and my phone number on it, and we both had to sign it and date it. And for the purposes of agriculture, yes, it's a grass and rubbish burn. It's not big enough and ugly enough to qualify for requiring a hazard reduction burn certificate or permit or plan or anything else. They generally pertain to people who are burning hundreds of acres, hundreds of hectares, thousands of hectares, people who are going to call out several brigades to help them light their fire. But yeah, if you can be trusted, you can get a permit, even during the bushfire danger season. And because I have a little bit of equipment and some knowledge and some experience and something of a track record, I'm allowed to do this. So that should be a bit of a wake-up call for those people who reckon that greenies are assholes who won't let the farmers burn off. Right? The greenie has to go to the farmer to get permission to burn off. And it takes a lot of convincing to get them to understand that up here on the mountaintop or on the hilltop in the forest, where the ground is shady it can be quite safe for me to do this at the right time of day under the right conditions when it's completely unthinkable to light a fire down on the valley floor where there's nothing to shade the grass. It gets frosted really hard every morning. I've only had a couple of frosts this whole winter. My temperature this morning was 5 degrees above 0 Celsius. By the look of the ground down in the valley, they were having a frost, maybe -4 or something. So happily, the system is still flexible enough to issue a permit to somebody like me, a greenie, to burn some grass and rubbish. You just don't call it a hazard reduction burn. Apparentarily. Warbles on a lot to YouTube. Isn't it nice that YouTube and Optus have got over their difficulties? And thanks very much to Refried Bean Dip, who let me know that other people all over the world are having the same difficulty I had for a day or two with uploads failing to process the file, failing to convert the file. Anyway, I've never had a permit before, therefore I'm sharing my excitement. Ciao.